Well, hello. Gonna make my first of the season videos. So should I call this season 2, episode 1? I think I will, just so I can keep it from kind of when I first started up until I started back in for this year. This selling period is my first season. That's gonna show you guys maybe some garage sales that I get permission to film at ahead of time, and some shows where I don't need permission. I just need to keep people's faces out of it so they don't get freaked out. California is extremely strange. Everybody's paranoid. I'm sure it's that way other places too, but I seem to run into it more than than usual. I don't know. But what I'm doing is since the season started, there's things that I bought a long time ago that I figured, well, I'll sell it if I get the right price for it, but I need to sell it at a show, not a garage sale or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm not putting this on eBay. What I'm going to do is put it on Marketplace under my name and advertise it on my Bear Flag Mercantile on Facebook being for sale. And yeah, I'm just going through and deep cleaning our house. I mean, there's a lot of things where when I clean around things that are big and heavy. But this year, I decided, well, I'm going to move some of my trunks out of the way, get everything behind it. I go through the trunks regular enough where those are clean and everything. It's like behind them and bookshelves and things that need to be cleaned out behind. Maybe something fell behind I didn't realize, and I'll find some treasures. But there's a lot. You got a lot. But see, I collect scales, and I collect all kinds of scales. So I'm specifically now, I have a medical one that I am not going to part with because it's pretty cool, and the story around us getting it is cool. So I'm going to keep that. But this was from a house clean out down in Fresno, the treasure trove house. I think I called it on other videos. But the guy was just getting rid of everything, and he brought scales out. It's like, oh yeah, I'll take those. Not really even looking at them. He kind of flipped the tops open. I got 6 or 7 more different types. But what I want to start specializing in is gold scales, gram scales, something an assayer would use. It even goes down to finger scales where people use them out, miners use them out in the field. I live in like a gold country area up in the mountains. The San Joaquin River Gorge has gold in it. And sometimes I go looking for it. I haven't found any yet, but that's just part of the fun, prospecting a little bit. But even more, California is, Sutter's Mill and all that. I mean, that region that there is gold and you can find it. And there's even signs down at the San Joaquin River saying prospectors welcome. So, there's something down there. They wouldn't welcome people to do that. So it's not going to be a full-time thing, but it's just like leisure whenever I have time. But anyway, back to this scale. It's got a nice wooden case. You're going to see what it is just a moment. And I unlatched it from the latches here before I started the video so I wouldn't fumble with it as much. But when we open this, it's got a nice little metal handle, I should say. It's kind of light for what it looks like. It looks like it's heavier, but it's really light. I have to tighten up the screws on the lid because they're loose, and I don't like to sell stuff like that. Let me take these out. And I'll show it to you all set up. But grab it down here so it won't hurt the scales. So, some of you probably already know what this is, that I've set it up. And some of you don't, and that's what I'm going to explain just a little bit before I pack it up and get it ready for the sales. This is a Kodak, our Eastman Kodak company studio scale. And this one dates, they made them from, I believe, 1909 to 1940s. And this is an earlier one, say maybe 1914, 1915 era. I gather just from some of the stuff I look at. I've got to clean it off. There's a lot of, like this, I don't know what that is anymore. It was on there when I got it, but it was pretty dusty. And I did clean it up before I showed it. And when I say clean, I just dusted it off. I'm not changing anything and destroying the value and all this. You do have to keep your antiques and collectibles clean and functioning if you want money out of them, instead of some frozen up thing covered in dust and grime. But the only drawback with this is it's missing 2 counterweights. I believe I might have some in my drawer of counterweights. I always pick those up when I see them. But the ones I've tried so far have been just a slight bit too big, and I'm not going to force them in. And I think I'm just going to sell this as is. And it still should get some money. I mean, I've seen them. Comps actually sold $75 to $100. And some were kind of up there, but they had everything. And, but I'm not sure what I'm going to sell it for yet. But, in case you don't know, the Eastman Kodak company, back in the old days before digital cameras and all that, we used to develop film with a chemical process. It involved dry chemicals that would be used on these scales to, of course, it'd be zeroed out with the scales, the scale plates on them here. You would put a weight on that side if you had a half ounce, and then you'd put it back to center. It's just a little bit off still from bouncing around. But you would just counterbalance it and all that. It was whatever chemical you needed to process film, whether it's development, if you ran through another dry wash or something to set the image to the paper. I believe they had. I don't know too much about developing film. I always wanted to do it, but I never had anybody teach me properly, and it's easier for me to take it to the drugstore and they would develop a film for me. It saved chemicals in the house. Who knows what could have happened if we had all that stuff around the house. But just wanted to show you those. They're very neat. When you think about all the work people used to do to put into things, that's why they're quality. And sometimes that's why antiques last as long as they did, because they weren't cheap pieces of junk made in China and everywhere else that isn't United States. Now, hopefully nobody gets offended by that, but American products used to be top-notch next to Germany and Japan. Japan makes some very precision equipment and is very accurate. Germany does too. And U.S. was right there among those top leaders. But nice old scale. And again, used in film development with the dry chemicals. Very nice. So this isn't going on eBay. If anybody's interested, you can make a comment here, or I'll figure out a way for you to contact me. But it's not going to go on eBay. I'm going to put it up maybe on local marketplace. But this is going to be one of the items that I'm going to, if it doesn't sell on local marketplace, which not much does up here. Just people are different up here. Want useful tools and things like that, which I switched to. But for my content that I take to shows, it has to be a better quality, and this is part of the stuff that's better quality. So this will be a show item. It draws attention. I'm going to be selling off some more scales, except for my medical ones. I'm going to get some gold scales that an assayer's office would have, or something for the trade in gold. So there it is. And look forward to more videos, and look forward to you guys watching more videos that I'm making. I'm going to get back into that more full-time with my new season. So this is going to be Season 2, Episode 1. Just so I can keep track of things myself. If somebody asks me for something when I'm in a show, hey, go check it out. Didn't bring it, but it's right here on YouTube. It's a handy tool. And I can sell it. So, everybody have a great day or evening. And thank you all for watching. And like and subscribe and share. Thanks a lot.